Hey, Mark, what's on your mind today?
How you doing, Tom? A quick comment to Billy.
Yep.
Whenever the Republicans get together to do anything to the Constitution, and in my lifetime, it's never to give us more rights. It's to restrict our rights.
For example?
Democrats usually tend to get together to add rights to our Constitution.
Yeah. Okay.
At least in the modern history. I mean, you can't say that throughout the whole Republican history, but since Nixon on, that's pretty much how it's been.
Yeah.
And now with this constitutional convention thing...
Let me give you, by the way, Mark, let me just give you an example to back you up. For over 100 years now, women have been trying to get an amendment to the Constitution that says that women have equal rights with men. And the Equal Rights Amendment is one sentence long. And Democrats have been pushing this thing forever, and Republicans have been fighting it forever. It just, or let me rephrase that. Progressives have been pushing this thing forever, and conservatives have been fighting it forever, because for a while it was actually progressive Republicans who were pushing it in the 50s. Now it's progressive Democrats. But anyhow, you get my point.
Now, in this constitutional convention thing, if the billionaire class thinks that the average citizen like me that's on Social Security and Medicare is just going to sit back if they have this convention and watch their rights and their social safety nets get swept away and do nothing about it, I don't know what fantasy they're living in.
Well, we watched them privatize half of Medicare, and nobody's done anything.
That's because the average person doesn't even realize what they're doing.
Bingo. And that's what's going to happen here. They're going to hold their little convention. It's not going to get a lot of publicity. Nobody's going to take it seriously. And then the Supreme Court's going to come in and say, ta-da!
Yeah, but they're going to end up sweeping away all this stuff. And then it's going to sit back and go, well, let's see. Last month I could afford to pay my bills and eat, and now this month I can't. That's not going to fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to fly for me. Let me put it to you that way.
I get it, Mark.
I'll be robbing banks before I dumpster dive one time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so, I mean, if they don't want a rash of criminality and civil unrest like they have never seen, because they're going to leave people no choice.
They are not going to be saying things like, we're going to make it easier for billionaires to avoid taxes and rip off people. Instead, they're going to be saying, oh, we're just clarifying, there's some ambiguities here. We're going to do the right thing for average working people, Trickle down didn't work because it never really was implemented properly, because the Constitution kept getting in the way by allowing these things like welfare programs. I just saw this in Argentina, Mark. Milei, the guy who's now the president of Argentina, I was there in Buenos Aires the day he was elected and the day after he was elected. And I've talked to a lot of people about it. And he's saying, he just devalued the currency by 50%. And he's saying, I'm doing all this for the working people. And he's not. He's a libertarian. He's doing it all for the billionaire class. But
sooner or later, what they do, you're going to feel the effects. It's going to slap you right in the face.
Oh yeah. And
that's when the proverbial stuff's going to hit the fan.
But see, here's the problem. That sooner or later, for example, from Reagan's policies, are hitting us right now, right? Our middle class has gone from 65% of us to 43% of us. But what happens as a consequence of that? The Republicans are telling all these working class people, oh, it's not Reaganomics that's doing this to you, it's the Democrats. I mean, that's, don't underestimate the power of these.
Oh, I'm not underestimating. I'm just wondering how they're going to cover up throwing people off of Social Security and Medicare.
I think they've done it before. They'll do it again, Mark.